like I'm pretty sure that if the show Hawaii Five-0 never came on, people would still say Hawaii Five-0. I think that there are certain shows that have come into our consciousness that will always be there. What was the one with Jack Klugman about the something MD?
Oh yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Opie will always be there. I don't care what Ron Howard does.
Yeah, he's a great.
He will always be
great
Opie.
Director and everything.
Yes.
Produces stuff now, but he's always going to be Opie.
Somebody's
and
always going to say Opie. And I just think that there are certain things that are indelibly etched in our conscious that have become
part of its true history
and
icons of America.
So there'll always be a discussion of Magnum PIs. Fight them, join them.
Back to the phones we go. We have the lovely Becky calling from Mississippi. You got your second woman here on the show.
Whoa, I'm a playboy now. Look out here.
Hello, Mike. Hello, Roger. How are you?
Yeah, great. I had 2 women in one day.
What's going on with you, Roger E. Mosley? This is your wife's not listening.
That's the difference between being on Larry's show and being on Robert Conrad's show. I get women on Conrad's show.
Don't tell Larry Minetti.
I'm going to tell him first chance I get. But go on, ma'am.
Well, first off, I want to say I hope Uncle Bob gets to feeling better.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be. He's going to love that. And as I said, I talked to him before the show, and he said he is going to try to make it back for next week's program.
He's a tough guy. Robert Conrad's a tough guy.
Oh yeah.
So he'll be all right.
And Roger, I had a question. The first thing I ever saw you on was That's My Mama. And I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about being on that show.
Boy, you're making me go way.
Yeah, tell me about it because I forget it. That's My Mama.
Way back.
Was that your very first part?
No, not even.
But that's the first
with Ted Lange.
That Becky saw you. Okay.
And one of the things that I remember about that show was I was in top physical shape. And one of the scenes was that Ted Lange was supposed to block me from doing something. And so he had his back to me, and just spontaneously, and he took a firm stance. He put his hands down by his side, and he wasn't going to let me go through. And unbeknownst to him, I just grabbed his hands that he had by his side and proceeded to lift him up about 4 feet off the ground.
By his hands?
By his hands, turn him around and put him in the exact opposite direction he was facing. He said he had never, ever been off his feet that easy in his life. It scared him to death, but we kept it in the show. Little things like that kind of stand out in your mind. We laugh about that to this day. He and I stay in touch with each other to this day.
Well, that is great. I love Ted Lange as well.
Ted Lange. Oh, you got to call him Lange.
I'm sorry.
If you say Lange, he'll keep walking.
Well, he got called Lang all the time. I used to call him Ted Lang, not that I ever met him.
That's why he's not here now.
That's why he's not on the show. I guess I keep calling for Ted Lang. I do the same thing, Becky. I'm sorry.
It's Ted Lange.
Lange, okay.
Well, awesome story, and it has been great talking to both of you.
We haven't heard from you in a long time, Becky. What have you been up to? We haven't heard from you on the show in a while.
My husband's been keeping me busy with his new business.
Oh, can I say something else too, Becky? I had a chance to work with a great actress named Teresa Merritt on that show.
Oh, yes, I loved her.
I wanted to mention her name because I still want to, keep those names out there, people who have come and entertained us through a lot of adversity. That's another case of somebody who got a chance to play a lead role in a sitcom and had worked so hard in her career to be ready. So somebody like Teresa Merritt, is very good working with her.
All right, Becky?
That's great, and y'all have a great weekend.
All right, thanks for calling.
Bye-bye.
Line open at 800-336-2225, 800-336-2225. So what was your very first role when you got going into television?
The very first role I got was on Night Gallery, Rod Serling's Night Gallery.
Oh, I love that show.
And, the character's name was the character's role was I was a guard, and I got a chance to work with Denise. Denise was on
Nichols. No, Denise.
Why is her name?
I don't know. You must be.
Denise Nicholas.
Oh, yeah.
From 227. Drop dead, gorgeous woman. Right. I was just sitting in awe of her. My lines were yes sir, she come out now, which they cut to yes sir. But I got paid for 3 days' work because it was over a Memorial Day holiday, and I had one extra day off, and I got paid.
Wow.
And for that whole weekend, I made $387.43.
That was a big deal in those days, too.
$87.43 for 1 day's work.
Saying yes, sir.
For saying yes, sir. Because a day and a half work. Because Sunday was an off day and Monday was an off day. I started the show on Saturday, and I finished it on Tuesday. The other 2 days were off, and I got did I get it right? $383.47.
A little bit more than you're making for the show today.
I had never made that much money.
And did you have to audition for that part? I mean, were there a lot of people?
Yes.
So there were a lot of people going up for that, right?
No.
No?
I got discovered. I was doing a play in Watts at a theater at Watts Writers Workshop. And at the time, the head of casting at Universal was looking for new talent, and he drove him and another friend of his all the way out to watch this theater, a 1,500 seat theater. It was an old movie theater. There were 8 people in the audience. He was one of 3 in his party with the other 5. That made the 8 people.
Wow.
They were sitting there in a cavernous theater. I was playing Bigger Thomas and Native Son. An actor, a veteran actor, a non-black actor, a white guy who I'm thankful for, told me never ever as an actor go out and look through the curtains to see how many people in the audience.
Just do your thing,
never
right?
Perform for
Hang
the
on, I
audience.
got to find out more about this. We're up against the break. We got more here with Roger E. Mosley, filling in for Bob Conrad. It's the PM Show Weekend Edition. Back to your phone calls, too, on CRN. Homo.